before we get Raz on, I think we also have to touch on an LCS topic that he will not be able to comment on, which is the hype video with Tyler1.
I'd almost deleted this from my brain, but yeah, I just remembered it now, sadly.
That just dropped. I'm going to cede the floor to you for the obvious rant.
Here's the first thing that needs to be said, right? Is I'm obviously someone who is, in theory, a massive proponent of exactly this type of content. It's actually what I've been asking for years. I even made a video on my YouTube channel, like, I'm going to say, 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was season 9, maybe. It was one of the times when, like, Doublelift and Bjergsen were facing each other in the finals. I said you should have intros that set it up and set up the hype and the gravitas and make it epic. So they basically made a trailer like that, and they're trying to have it. In my opinion, I don't even think they've got esports now. I think they're trying to do it like they've done in a lot of American sports franchises for like NFL and NBA, where you have like a actor do a fucking like cool little like teasers sort of for the playoffs, right? And give a bunch of like, essentially they're sort of like movie lines. Now, they didn't actually do as good a job here, but they had Tyler1, the obviously infamous streamer, do one of those, right? Now, here's why this sucks, right? First of all, why is Tyler1 in it? No one else asked this question, Monty. Everyone else, it's awesome, it's cool. Because here's the thing. Is Tyler1 famous for like pumping people up and inspiring people? Nah, not really. Is Tyler1 doing it in Tyler1 style with his quotes and his catchphrases? And no, he's not doing any of that. Is it some sort of meta contextual thing about how him raging at the game and the passion he has for the game translates now? No, it's just him. Could be replaced by any other human to read the words, doing this, and you're supposed to just sort of go, oh, that's Tyler1. That's about it. That's like, even the things he says, Monty, like, it's not even in the way he, like, on stream, he is quite funny when he's, over the top and he's doing there's none of that in this. So to me, it was just a very generic trailer with Tyler1, and I don't really get why. Like, I told you, I didn't look at the Reddit thread, but I've looked at it now. Like, I can't believe the response is so positive, because here's the stupid thing. I could redo this whole trailer, make it awesome. Like, I would have it like that. I'd have him be like playing the fucking game and raging on stream and be like, the passion that League inspires, and you want that one last game, you want to win it, you could do a whole cool thing on it. You could make it a really unique approach. So I actually thought it was a wasted chance, mate. I also think, and I'll say this is the final thing, I hate when you do those trailers and it's all just generic, like not a single storyline, not even fucking one. I can't get one storyline in the whole thing. Like, you even show fucking Cloud9 players, they're not even going to be there. You show me Fudge, he ain't going to be there. He ain't going to be there, boys. So I thought it was a bit underwhelming. Man.
Here's the other thing, Thorin, is that they filmed this in advance with all of the teams, and people will say, well, they had to do this in advance. No, they didn't. They had to do it slightly in advance, right? But here's the thing, guys. I can tell you, because I've done this. Go watch the Flashpoint 1 intro. And we already had it storyboarded and the player arc completed before they even set foot in a studio, and we did it in under a week from the actual shooting of the players in person to the final video, because we had a plan about how it was going to be.
For the one that I didn't work on, Flashpoint 3, I remember for the intro you did for that, you even had to like change a bloody player because Device changed teams.
Device changed teams right before the tournament, so we had to change the storyboard. So like, I've done this, guys. You can make the changes. That's like a crazy excuse. And you could at least set up theoretical narratives, because there's a finite number of teams, right? So what you do is, if you have a well-planned shoot, you can get narratives from the different teams.
You could have some amazing ones for these ones, yeah.
You could use. Yes. Like, you could be like, you could use it. Like, what happens? Here's some ones, for example. Let's get a shot of Bjergsen and Jojopian looking at each other, because it could be new guard versus old guard. Like, there's an idea for you. You just have to plan that shoot and get it done, and plan the scheduling of that shoot around all of that. So you absolutely can tell stories, even if you don't know what those stories are, as long as you think about it in advance. Okay, as long as you plan the shoot properly. Now, on the Tyler1 side, here's the other thing you didn't mention, Thorin, is that it's not even about the finals. It's about the crowd, which is such a
that was weird as well. There's another thing, actually, Monty. Here's also what tilted me. The things he was saying also mean nothing, because they have no gravitas. Because what does Tyler1 know about a crowd bringing the best out of the best? He's never competed, you fucking idiots. Like, he isn't a pro player. What's weird about that is he has no connection to the esports side of the game. But you picked him as though, like, dude, the things he's saying would be appropriate on an NFL thing if it was like Jerry Rice saying that, like, and the crowd brings out the great greatest out of the player, and you've got to perform and be on your best, and you can't let your team. Why does Tyler1 saying that mean anything? Like that's what I mean. This is like, by the way, everything I hate about Riot, because the joke is I could make a better skit, which is just how they came up with this skit. So it's obviously the fucking big industrialist, Mr. fucking Riot guy with the big cigar. Who are these fucking kids into? Who's Miss Moneypenny? Who the fuck is my nephew watching Tyler1? Get me Tyler1. It's like one of these. Like, what are you doing? You're a fucking boomer. Like, and what are the themes here? Well, we've got the crowd back. So that's right. Yes, the crowd. It's all about the crowd. I'm the man of the people. Like this is like some fucking Brendan Circus shit. What are you doing?
The problem is like, I think what happened here is that there's two different departments within Riot who do these things, and I do not know why they are two separate entities. So they have like this marketing department, and then they have the esports department. And sometimes the marketing department makes these things on their own budgets that is independent of the esports department. And because they have money to pay Tyler1 as an influencer, but it's like he has his own like whatever hilarious like kind of amateur semi-pro tournament that he runs, right? But for the most part,
to use if you have the right setting, of course.
Yeah, he's completely divorced from the esports part of things, and you're not telling any narratives with this promo. And yes, I realize Tyler1 is going to be there, but if you are LCS and you think the best way to promote your league is with a guy who is at best loosely affiliated, you've lost the fucking plot. Your league is, if you think that the best way to get viewers to your league is to leverage Tyler1, your viewership is toast already.
I would have used Monty. I would have the same type of setup. I would have just used Dom. He was a pro player. He didn't manage to win the LCS, but he was in like big semis stuff. He's been at those things with the crowd. He's also one of your most popular core streamers, and he understands all the shit about the esports side. Like, he would actually nail this role, mate. He's better than Tyler1 for that. Well, I obviously understand. I'm saying that hypothetically. Obviously, Riot would never use Dom in a fucking commercial. I'm aware of that. I mean, hypothetically, here, fans.
But it's also, you could use your own talent. Like Captain Flowers could have done just as good of a job delivering those almost exactly the same lines without some like Tyler1 specific quotes like built different, right? But in essence, the message could have been delivered, even though the message was about crowds. And
Tyler1 quote. Does he say that about himself, that he's built different or something?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a catchphrase or what. Fair enough. Okay.
So like you could have just used Captain Flowers for this, and I feel like it would have at least had some semblance of LCS.
I've even realized how bad it is, because like that line that they just said there, if that's a quote of his built different, why did they throw it away on nothing? Like, here's what you would have done. If you, as we're saying, if you actually properly schedule this so you know who the teams are, you would do something like this, Monty. Like, Team Liquid was always known for playing through the bot and mid lane, but this time they're built different or whatever. And you do some you'd actually tie it into the analysis, wouldn't you? And give some sort of hype. Like, what I don't get is this. Fans are going to do this, Monty. This is why I can't stand fans. They're going to go, what's the big deal? Because A, it is an opportunity missed. And B, if you knew how much fucking money they paid Tyler1 and spent on this, you'd know that it is a big deal. Like, this could be, by the way, better than any OGN intro if you actually paid the budget that they have right now. Like, you don't know, they would... All your favourite OGN intros, they were made on pennies. They were made on a shoestring budget, mate. You could have done something as cool as that for this. Now, yeah, it wouldn't be as cool in the sense it doesn't have, like, the Korean players, but the storylines here, like, let's not pretend there are no fucking players here. Like, for me, there's so many cool angles you can have with the fact that EG's tried all these American players. 100 Thieves was supposed to be the flash in the pan that was a fluke, but they might win again. Team Liquid has, like, Bjergsen maybe in his worst performance, but he's in another super team. Like, there's some fucking amazing narratives you could bring for this. You won't find any of them in that video, so I also don't know what the point is. Because here's the other thing. Surely at the most base level, the dream of this video, Monty, is that I like League of Legends. I don't know the LCS finals is going on. I see this video and I tune in. Why would I tune in? You haven't given me a single reason. In fact, the joke is, I might even tune in going, oh, it's Cloud9 playing. Oh, fuck that.
No. The single reason is Tyler1. This is the point. This is literally, you can infer from this video the thought process that goes in, which is, it is better use of our money to pay Tyler1 $50,000 to $100,000, which is probably the range that it costs to have him do this video and appear at the finals. If I had to guess, somewhere in that range
from streaming,
with how much he loses from streaming, probably somewhere in that range. Because that is the best chance of getting viewers. You asked yourself, how do we advertise this? Is the best chance to pay Tyler1 a bunch of money? Or is it to tell the storylines of the league? Is it to use our own talent to do this promotional video? And they decided that Tyler1 is the best marketing strategy, which means that they are alone in an ocean right now where they do not know how to actually get viewership. That's where we're at. And it's depressing because there's some really good stories. There's some really good stories.
They have no idea what they're doing here, they have no idea at all.
So we'll see. Because, I'm willing to forgive this if we get a really good 10-year history of the LCS at the finals. If they pull off what LCK pulled off, which was fucking amazing at their finals, bringing back all those old players, really leaning into the history, entirely leaning into the history. If they do that at the LCS finals, all is forgiven, right? This was just something to get Tyler1's fans hyped and aware and involved and hopefully watch the finals. That is legit. Now, considering Tyler1 is also going to be at the finals, I somehow doubt that is going to be the case, but we'll see.
Also, at least actually make fucking interesting tie-ins to what happened in the split. You can have all cool angles, like Cloud9 was supposed to revolutionize the LCS until they had a systems failure. Then you have them move out, then it's like TSM was supposed to be a fucking beat until, whatever. But now their last chance to win just fled to China. You obviously wouldn't put that in a Riot. Well, that'd be in my version, obviously. But you can tie all these fucking 6 storylines, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. So I hope they do something. I hope they do something for the actual LCS finals. I think there are some really cool kind of new guard stories coming out of EG. I think you have the TL super team not living up to expectations, the defending champions back in the finals.
Yeah. No, it's also one of the most uncertain finals weekends I can think of. Who the fuck knows who'll win?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no obvious favourite.
There isn't.
By the way, and obviously I very rarely ever do this, Monty, but sadly when you were talking, I actually glanced at our Twitch chat, and you won't believe this, mate. Our Twitch chat thinks that was straight fire and we don't know what we're talking about, which doesn't prove anything, by the way, about our fan base. Because here's the way fans work, by the way. When the VOD has 100,000 views, the 10 people talking Twitch chat, we don't give a fuck what you think, mate. I'll take the 100,000 other people. The ones who didn't comment, they're my favourite viewers. You in the Twitch chat, you just have access to Twitch and fingers. I can't even confirm you have eyes or a brain, but you have fingers and Twitch chat, that's it. If it were me, by the way, you know what I'd do. It'd be silent. I'd have no fucking Twitch chat. But it isn't mine. It's all right. It's all right. I've had my little look. I've looked away now, and now we can go on in our lives.
So that was me malding. Just because, honestly, I think Riot Korea did such a good job with the LCK finals this year. It was just so perfect that it's just really, 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 really annoying to see this kind of content crop up. Because, again, it's a Band-Aid solution. And this is what Riot seems to love these days, is they've Band-Aid solutioned Valorant by having all of these co-streamers that are 70% of their esports viewership is just co-streamers these days. And if you look at this, now you're just getting unaffiliated league celebrities into your esports space because every time you do this, you lose another opportunity to hook people into the things that are actually durable about your league. Tyler1 isn't going to be here for every fucking LCS final. Nothing against him, but I hope he's not, because he's not part of the fabric of the LCS or the history of the esport, which is what I really care about.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.